Number 1. This video was posted to YouTube on October 22nd, 2022 by Journeyman's Paranormal Investigations. It shows one of the creepiest solo explorations ever filmed in England's Daring Woods, more commonly known as the Screaming Woods. This forest has long been connected to ghost stories and mysterious deaths, but what was captured during this visit added a chilling new layer to its reputation.
My YouTube subscribers, welcome back to my channel this week. This week I thought we'd do a visit to the most haunted woods in England, named Daring Woods. We're about 1.5 miles away from Pluckley, and obviously I would imagine most people have heard of Pluckley, which is reputably the most haunted village in the UK. But in any case, there's been many deaths here over the years, a lot of sightings of shadow figures and strange sounds emanating from the woods themselves. So I hope you enjoy today's explore. Please leave me a like or a comment if you would, and I'll speak to you again soon.
The investigator began his walk into the woods around 2 a.m, carrying only basic ghost hunting gear. The plan was simple: head deep into the forest, call out, and see what might respond. But almost immediately after entering, something felt wrong.
So it should stay relatively dry in here. Please come forward to me if you would and show me yourself. Can you approach the box in my hand? Please come forward if you would. Come and show me of your presence. Certainly a freaky place. Movement over there. Who's there, please?
Before he could even set up his equipment, he heard footsteps nearby. His EMF meter, which detects changes in electromagnetic fields, started going off in his pocket without explanation. As he moved deeper into the woods, he used a spirit box and an app designed to pick up ghostly messages. The responses were fast and unsettling.
The spirit talker app working. So I thought what we'd do, if we have a look down this pathway, because this is the area where I heard the footsteps. So let's take a little walk down here and just see if anything wants to come forward and maybe show themselves to us or talk to us in some way. Certainly even with the rain, I can hear the rain on the canopy of the trees. But
words like shadow, cursed, and she killed came through. The EMF meter continued to light up, suggesting something unseen was close by. He explored a path where he had heard earlier noises, and even with rain falling, strange sounds echoed through the forest. While scanning the trees with his night vision camera, he caught a dark figure standing among them. This wasn't just a blur or a trick of the eye. It was a solid shadow, clearly visible before it vanished when the camera moved.
And without a doubt, I know there's been at least 30 deaths in these woods. I'll put a picture up. Significant. The deaths were very significant. As I was saying, I'll put a picture up in this video just to show you the local newspaper at the time and the 20 dead bodies that were all found as a group. I don't think they ever really knew what actually killed them all, unless it was hidden up with nothing happening. Please come. I'm sure there was a shadow figure down there then. Please let me know if you see anything. I'll have a look during editing. There seems to be something there. There's a person there. Is it my eyes? Can you see it? Who are you? Who are you, please? Can you see that? It's gone. What the hell was that?
This moment confirmed what he feared. He wasn't alone out there. As he kept filming, the shadowy figure appeared again. Though distant, it was clearly there. The spirit box began mentioning specific names like Amelia and described details like a dress, painting the image of a spirit trapped in the forest.
EMF meter's been going off, but unfortunately it's in my pocket. Because I've got my torch in one hand, the camcorder in the other. I've just got no availability to show it at the moment. Florence, can you hear that? Certainly some strange noises going on in these woods. Something there then. Not sure if you see that. That was a figure. Bear with me. I'm just going to zoom in a little. No. Cross? What cross, please? More footsteps. There we go, I've got to turn the light on. That was walking.
Screams were also heard in the distance, quiet at first, then louder and full of pain. The deeper he went, the more active the woods became. Shadows moved just out of sight. Strange noises filled the air, and more names were spoken by the device, including Bobby and Robinson, possibly spirits of those who once lived or died there. The most intense moment came when he reached a crossroads deep in the forest. Surrounded by thick darkness, he realized how isolated he truly was.
What the hell was that? The MF's going like there's no tomorrow. Oh, that was freaky.
Jesus.
Did you just say Jesus? What the hell? It just said Jesus. Why are you saying Jesus? Why are you saying Jesus, please? Let's go and get my torch. There's something down there and it's freaking me out. Okay. I've got the voice recorder out, so we're going to give that a little go.
Whispers echoed nearby, and the EMF meter almost overloaded, showing an extreme spike in energy. By the time he returned to the main trail, he was physically and emotionally exhausted. Later, while reviewing the footage, it became clear that the shadow figure he saw wasn't a mistake or camera glitch. It was real. Something had been watching him the whole time. In places like the Screaming Woods, real fear doesn't come from loud noises or jump scares. It comes from realizing you were never alone, that something ancient and unseen was there with you the entire time. Number 2. 401 Files is a YouTube channel that explores strange and unexplained phenomena. The creator focuses on mysterious creatures like Bigfoot, dogmen, UFOs, and other paranormal beings. If you're into this kind of stuff, his videos are a great watch. In this video, he returns to Dalby Forest, a place he's visited before. This location is known for eerie sightings and disturbing stories, everything from dogmen and alien encounters to reports of animal and even human mutilations. Dalby Forest, located on the east coast of Britain, has a dark reputation, and he plans to spend the entire night there.
Absolute pleasure, as I always say, to be joined by so many like-minded people from all around the world. I've brought you back today to a place that we have explored before. This was last year, and it's a place that has dogman sightings, creepy stories and evidence, cases of human mutilation, animal mutilation, UFOs and extraterrestrials, and everything in between.
As night begins to fall, he and his dog Lily search for a spot to camp. Being alone in the forest after dark can mess with your senses. When the sun goes down, our vision weakens, and our minds start playing tricks. Even the most ordinary sounds or shadows can feel threatening. The deeper fear sets in when you start to wonder, what if something really is out there? Eventually, they find a place to settle for the night. But not long after, strange lights appear in the distance, lights he couldn't explain.
If you got here, comment the word darkness.
There's some lights over there in the distance. I'm not sure what that is. My initial thought, well, that's Lily, obviously the green one, and she's really close to me, but there's two white lights. Seem really far from the distance. My original thought just then was maybe a road, but they don't seem to be moving. And they're not constant, they keep going on and up. On and off, and one of them just got really bright, so I have no idea what that is. Try and zoom in.
These lights weren't stars, and they weren't from any nearby road. They flickered on and off, changed brightness, and even shifted colors, from green to blue and beyond. There was no clear source, and they seemed to be hovering close to the ground. Though he didn't go closer to investigate, the lights stayed on his mind.
I have no idea what that is. It's too far for me to go investigate, and it's definitely not stars. We're looking at ground level here, right across the horizon, but it seems too far from the distance for me to go over that way and investigate. And holding my hands out like this with the camera, I'm struggling because they're so cold. But yeah, I have no idea what that is at this point.
The forest was quiet for the rest of the night, but he couldn't shake the strange feeling, or the stories others have shared about this place. Were those lights part of something paranormal, a natural occurrence, or something else entirely? What do you think? Number 3. Luke from Outdoor Boys is no stranger to rough terrain and extreme weather. He's spent years exploring the world through camping, hiking, and taking on challenges most of us wouldn't dare. But in this video, he faced one of his most intense adventures yet, deep in the frozen wilderness of Alaska during an incoming blizzard. He set up camp in a remote section of forest surrounded by snow-covered trees. With a hot tent, a small stove, and only the gear he carried, he dug out a flat spot, gathered frozen firewood, and worked hard to get a fire going.
It is wet and cold, so we're going to put it around the stove to dry it out before we throw it in. I'm going to string up a little clothesline to start drying my gloves out. I brought a little luxury item here. Melting snow is such a pain. It'll probably take me 45 minutes to get this snow melted and up to a boil. All right, we got the water boiling. It's time to make some food. Got some beef bouillon cubes, a little bit of salt. I got these little lamb T-bones here. They're already seasoned. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the bone out, cut off the grizzle, put that in the pot first. I'm gonna have some herbal tea here.
As night fell, he brewed herbal tea and cooked lamb T-bones to stay warm and energized, because he'd need all the strength he could get. Everything seemed calm until overnight the storm rolled in with full force. Heavy snow piled onto his tent and wind shook the trees above. By morning, Luke knew it was time to leave. The snow had thickened, visibility dropped, and the trail back was quickly becoming impassable. He strapped on snowshoes and made a careful escape through the increasingly hostile forest.
Tired, so I'm gonna hit the sack, and we're gonna see what this blizzard brings, because I can hear it snowing really hard right now. We'll see what we got in the morning.
I think it's time to get up.
What a beautiful campsite. This right here is Prince William Sound, one of the most gorgeous parts of Alaska. And this forest here is actually rainforest. They get something like 200 inches of rain every year here. This is one of my favorite places in Alaska. But this storm is getting worse. I think I better get my snowshoes on and get out of here.
The storm didn't let up. When he finally reached his car, it was buried in snow, and the roads were frozen solid.
I'm almost in the car. Hopefully I can get it out of the snowdrift. Well, there you go. That's not too buried. I can get that out.
Along the way, he even stopped to help another stranded driver, but getting home was no easy feat. He had to constantly shovel snowdrifts and guide his vehicle with just a small red shovel, marking the safe path through the blinding white.
Oh, that was some sketchy stuff. There was just the smallest window through that snowdrift. I had to go and run about 50 feet in front of the car and put my red shovel in the snow, and I'd use that as a target to aim for the path. And I'd get there and I'd run back and go another 50 feet. And if you got off 6 inches to either side, you were done. But by doing that, me and everybody that was behind me was able to get through the snowdrifts.
Eventually, Luke made it back, frozen, exhausted, but safe. The storm could have easily trapped him, but his experience, preparation, and determination pulled him through. Number 4. This unsettling footage was captured by Owen, an 18-year-old YouTuber known for his channel, Exploring with Owen. With a passion for the paranormal and unknown, Owen recently began documenting his explorations of haunted places, sometimes with friends, but often completely alone. On November 9th, 2024, he took on one of his most daring adventures yet, a solo overnight camp deep in the forest near his home.
Myself. As you can see, I'm still packing my stuff. I have my clothing in here, I have an air mattress and a lantern in this backpack, and I've got my power bank charging right here. And over here, I have my tent and my blankets.
Despite the biting cold of that winter evening, Owen set out fully prepared with camping gear and supplies. But almost immediately after entering the woods, strange things began to happen. Just minutes into his hike, he heard a loud crashing noise nearby, an ominous sign that this night wouldn't be as peaceful as he hoped.
Alright guys, I just got dropped off with all my stuff, but I was walking just barely with my stuff and I heard a giant crash over there, over in that direction. It literally sounded like a tree falling over. I don't know what that was. I just really hope there's not people in this forest, because that actually scared me so bad. Into the woods we go.
After about half an hour of walking, he found a flat spot to set up camp. Once inside his tent, he gave viewers a look at the gear he brought along and tried to settle in for the night. But his nerves were already on edge. Soon after getting comfortable, he heard the snap of a twig just outside.
Now guys, I'm probably going to inflate my air mattress and set up my bed. I just heard sticks down. I'm not even kidding. They came from like over that way. I'm hoping that's just the wind. I literally think I just heard a gunshot. I don't know if that picked up on camera. I hope it did. Bro, I don't want this to be a scary video. It's just supposed to be a solo camping. Anyways, what I was gonna say is that once I lay down and my weight disperses, it's just fine. But I'd like to mention, this is literally my first time tenting in the woods, and I'm also alone. The only time I've ever been tenting is like outside of my house, and it's been with friends. So this is really new to me, and I'm kind of nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I really hope I...
Moments later, a sharp sound, possibly a distant gunshot, echoed through the forest. Though not captured on camera, it left a deep impact on Owen, who was experiencing his first night alone in the woods. As the hours passed, Owen tried to stay calm. He had dinner, watched videos, and eventually put the camera away to get some rest. But around 2 a.m., things took a darker turn.
Hour since the last update. I'm probably gonna just chill out, maybe watch some YouTube videos, and then go to bed. So I'm probably gonna put the camera away, but I'll see you guys in the morning. Guys, I just woke up. It's like 2 a.m. and I just heard footsteps outside of the tent. Literally woke me up, it was so loud. They went away though. I don't know, I feel like I kind of want to go out and check, but I'm kind of scared too. I think we're gonna go out and check. I might just walk around and look at it.
He was jolted awake by what sounded like footsteps slowly circling his tent. The noises were heavy and deliberate, crunching through the frozen leaves outside.
Over here. They sounded like it was right here. My tent is right there. I don't know, man. This is really scary alone.
He stepped out with a flashlight to inspect the area, but found nothing. No people, no animals, just silence. Disturbed but trying to stay composed, he returned to his tent. But the footsteps came again, this time caught clearly on camera, as they moved around his camp. Still, no one was ever seen. Eventually, the fear became too much.
Hello? I'm shaking so bad. Look at my hand. Look at my hand. Am I still recording? Okay, I am. I literally heard footsteps come from that way and go all the way around my tent. I said hello and no response. That was really weird. It sounded like a human.
Convinced that someone or something was out there, Owen made the decision to pack up and leave. Number 5. Claire is a nature-loving solo camper and single mom who's usually all about peaceful hikes and quiet evenings under the stars. Her videos are known for their chill vibe and stunning scenery. But this time, she took a darker turn. For Halloween, she decided to camp out near a mysterious old church known for disturbing tales of satanic rituals and even an infamous murder nearby.
Trying something a bit different today, so I'm going to be camping at a creepy church with a history of satanic ritual and witchcraft. So yeah, this is Wild Bear coming to you from Clop Hill. Woo! Satanic rituals. Over the years, people have dug up bones and all sorts from graves. There's been a murder done on A6, known as the A6 murder. That's the road just over there, I believe. So yeah, lots has happened here, and understandably the church has been closed for overnight visitors, and there are cameras and alarms everywhere. So I've been up to have a look at the church, and I'm staying somewhere nearby where I feel like I won't be disturbed. Yeah, I like this little bit of woods. I don't think I'll be disturbed here. I'm going to do a bivvy today, so really stealth. I've not got another shelter if it rains, just a bivvy, so I think it's going to be a nice night actually. Just got to wait around until it gets dark.
Already off to a spooky start, right? Since the church itself is locked down with alarms and cameras due to its troubled past, Claire set up her bivvy in a nearby patch of woods, hoping for a calm night. But as she waited for darkness to fall, she began reading about the area's strange history. Stories of bones dug up near graves, eerie sightings, and unsettling rumours that have surrounded the place for years.
Apart from some odd noises, I can't report of anything so far. While we're on the subject of weird stuff, there is a controversial video of what is claimed to be a ghost in St Mary's Church, taken in 2016, and it shows a black hooded figure walking past the door of the church. So if you Google Clop Hill Church monk ghost, I'm sure that will come up. And it's a really creepy video actually, but you know, that could quite easily have been staged. So, but for you guys that like the ghost stuff, have a look at that. So that's quite fun.
She explored a bit, grabbed some food, and eventually tried to settle in for the night. That's when things took a turn.
Okay. I've lost my bed. How have I lost my bed? Getting into a bivvy bag is always such a graceful thing. It's so flumpy. There's the moon. It's so pretty. Good night, Wawas. See you in the morning. You see the red eyes over there? I'm just going to assume they were deer eyes. Freaky. Really freaky. I don't like the red eyes.
Strange noises started echoing from the woods, and then, out of nowhere, Claire caught something with glowing red eyes staring at her from the trees. She tried to rationalize it, thinking it could be deer reflecting her red headlamp, but even she didn't sound fully convinced. Whether it was an animal or something else entirely.
I keep telling myself it's just because I had this my red light on my head torch, that's why the eyes look red. And if I had the white light on, they would have just been white, because they're just deer eyes.
Those glowing eyes gave off a vibe that was hard to shake. Number 6. This next clip takes us deep into the Brazilian wilderness with Luca and Yuri from the channel Caçadores das Sombras. These guys don't just chase ghost stories, they dive headfirst into them. Known for pushing boundaries, they explore haunted locations, chase down urban legends, and document every spine-chilling moment for their fans. In this episode, they're not alone. Along with a few close friends, they head into a forest notorious for being the home of a terrifying creature said to resemble a werewolf. Locals claim it roams the woods after dark, and those who've seen it speak of glowing eyes and a monstrous presence that vanishes as quickly as it appears. On the night of October 14th, 2021, the crew sets up camp, weapons in hand, nerves high, and cameras rolling. Everything's quiet. Until it's not. While moving through the thick trees, something suddenly catches their attention. For a brief second, they spot a strange shape between the branches. It's there, and then it's gone. No sounds, no movement, just a lingering sense of dread and the feeling that something is watching them. Number 7. Our next story comes from the YouTube channel Into the Void, where Zach and his friend took on what seemed like a standard urban exploration, this time diving into a storm drain tunnel beneath Colorado Springs.
What happened is him and I went in, and pretty far down the tunnel we heard this weird noise, like it sounded like a scream, but it didn't sound like it was a human scream. It sounded more animalistic, and I was shining my light, and for probably 4 seconds or so I saw this like emaciated looking creature.
But their night quickly spiraled into something far darker than they ever anticipated. Deep inside the tunnel near Fountain Creek, they were met with an unnerving sound.
Okay. Hello? Anyone here? This is the spot where I'm closes off a little bit. I'm really not looking forward to this. I don't know what that was.
Like a scream, but not quite human. Zach described it as something animalistic, like the cry of a mountain lion, but distorted.
I need to take a breather. What the fuck? Nope, I'm dipping out. Fuck this shit. I don't know what that is. Oh fuck.
Wrong. As they scanned the darkness, his flashlight caught a brief glimpse of a figure, pale, thin, and humanoid, with features too twisted to belong to anything natural. Some compared its grotesque face to the infamous Pope Lick monster. Shaken by the experience, Zach promised himself he'd never go back. Number 8. This next chilling clip comes from the Exploration Unknown YouTube channel run by John, a veteran urban explorer who's been diving into abandoned locations since 2016. Over the years, he's explored everything from decaying hospitals to forgotten homes, always bringing his viewers along for every step into the unknown. But one trip, back in March 2019, nearly turned deadly. On this particular outing, John teamed up with fellow YouTuber Tim to explore a derelict house with a dark past. Local whispers claimed a woman had taken her own life there years after losing a child. A haunting enough story on its own. But as they'd soon find out, the real danger wasn't paranormal. Not long after entering, it became clear just how unstable the house really was.
Drop. These floors are not very stable.
Here?
Yeah. You guys check out that fireplace.
If that falls, dude, I don't know what it's going to do to the rest of this house.
Yeah, I know, because that's a load-bearing wall out there.
That's going to be a lot of weight to hit this floor. I'm really nervous about that right there.
Yeah, and look at the ceiling.
We need to get out of here before that happens.
Floorboards groaned with every step. Large cracks lined the ceiling, and entire sections of the floor were missing altogether. They even pointed out a load-bearing wall near a fireplace that could collapse at any moment.
To chance it. What do you think, Tim? Think we talked about it?
It hasn't moved anymore.
Let's just stay away from that area.
Yes.
Let's go back here to the room where the wife. You didn't fall through the floor, did you?
No, but it cracked a little.
Oh man, there's a crib in here. Oh shoot.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just fell through the floor. Ow, God.
You alright, man?
Oh,
We need to go.
we gotta get out of here.
The warning signs were everywhere, but they pressed on. Then came the moment everything almost went horribly wrong. As John made his way across the second floor, he felt it. The floor suddenly gave out beneath him. He didn't fall completely through, but came terrifyingly close. The wood cracked under his weight, and for a split second, it seemed like he might plunge straight into the basement. Only by shifting his weight at the last second did he avoid a serious fall. Shaken, the two explorers quickly made the decision to call off the rest of the exploration. Every step back to the exit was a reminder of how narrowly John had avoided a disaster.